What's happening YouTube? PhD here. Been a quick minute since I last uploaded a video. I have been super duper busy with a move that I have, house move. It's still ongoing as well, so that's going to be a little bit more time too, and it's just unfortunate. Pokemon's been busy, real life's been busy, and I just haven't had a chance to kind of slow down a little bit and talk about things like I normally do with some of my videos. So yeah, I've kind of missed out talking or just discussing a bit more of the kind of crazy Japanese stuff. It's obviously still ongoing as well, which is and well, it's certainly interesting, but also like, are we still near the beginning of everything that's going on? Maybe something I'm going to talk a little bit about as we get through the video, but the video is also just going to be me going through some cards I'm hopefully going to send off to PSA pretty soon. So I'll quickly show those off, maybe look at some conditions, maybe predict some grades and see how badly we fare, and then, as I said, just talk through a few things that I just really haven't had a chance to talk about, because I really haven't spoken that much about all the kind of crazy stuff we've seen with the kind of Japanese side of the market over the last certainly one I really wanted to kind of share some opinions on, or just generally just talk about, right? So yeah, into the video, as I've said, I'm just going to start with a few cards that I'm sending off. Half the reason I'm sending these cards off is given, you know, what we're seeing, what we've been seeing over the last few weeks, and as I said, I've just been really caught up with house move. So signed the contract, so now just waiting to move. Hopefully that's going to happen next week. Got a nice little bump there, and these are a lot of cards I've just been having, you know, just had lying around. So I thought, when is the better time to kind of get these cards graded, and you know, then to basically, is there a better time to sell them now? Probably not. So probably interesting for me to kind of get these cards out of, because you know, they were just kind of lying around doing nothing anyway, so I don't think it's, they're also, I think, not as good conditions as some of the cards I already sent off. So for example, I graded I think about 6 or 7 of these already at this point, probably one of the worst ones, so probably might not grade a lot of these cards at the same time, just because, yeah, as I said, I would have sold them. I would have graded them and sold the few and kept what I wanted already. So, as I'm sure you're aware, things have been pretty crazy the last probably the last couple of months now at this point, and we are seeing some that's they're probably gonna get a 9. Centering's not terrible. Maybe pile with yeah, things are being pretty crazy. At least from my side, I had some issues with myself personally about a month ago. Managed to get through those, but then what's happened since then is that pretty much the majority of the kind of graded Japanese cards that I've had have literally been either bought out, or what I've done is, if I've managed to do it in time at least, to just actually take the cards down. So I've actually done that with quite a few cards, just because they were like fairly priced at the time, and given how quickly things escalated, I thought it'd be smart for me to kind of take everything out for a little bit. Whether or not that's going to be the smartest play, I can't really say for sure. This is another one, like another Japanese full art trainer. It's not obviously one of the kind of waifus. I mean, if this is someone's waifu, we've got a real problem here. But again, it's another one of those cards. I actually graded a few already, got a couple of 9s you can see here, so I'm probably going to crack those out and actually regrade those in the hopes of getting a 10. But yeah, whether or not it's going to be the smartest thing, I can't really say, given that you know, how long is this realistically going to last for? I saw some people discussing this on, let me just avoid the glare here, got another, this was a honey, I graded this one as well recently, so I'm probably going to crack that out too and send that off again, hopefully the 10 there. And here is a Ganadel and Guzzlord GX, again graded very recently, got an 8, but I'm sure it's not 8 worthy. I'm sure it's a little bit better than that, so I will take a look at that again, and if cracking and grading again, I certainly will do that. But yeah, as I was saying, the things escalated and changed so damn quickly. So for me, I sold a few things, of course. I sold quite a lot of things, and I sold a few things more. But what I tried to do again was just push the prices up a little bit for a few things, particularly like the Fallout trainers that I had. I genuinely just took them off just to see what happened. Whether, as I said, whether or not that's going to be a smart play, smart move, or the smartest move is to be seen. The only thing that worries me is because these cards elevated in price so quickly, is that we really are in some kind of more short-term bubble. I mean, these, like what we've seen over the last couple of months, has probably been worse than what we saw in 2020, given how quickly things happened, and they happened quickly then as well. I'm not saying that they didn't, but this feels a lot more kind of, not sinister. Sinister is probably not the word, but like inorganic, I guess. I don't know if they're like the Japanese Logan Paul or the Chinese Logan Paul just decided to say, hey, you guys, you know, Pokemon's awesome, right? Something that we don't know about. I'm sure if that happened, we would know about it, right? But it just feels a little bit more inorganic, just the way how quickly things were bought out and how quickly prices did rise. Yeah, I could have obviously, and I could continue to just sell everything as they are now. I could put everything back up on eBay, took off. But I'm gonna probably wait and see what happens. Really, I don't know if they're gonna continue to double in price every month or so. I really doubt it. And I don't think it's a bad idea. They've got there. I'm not sure about this one either, but it's a nice Groudon EX. I don't know if this is the Play Pro. Yeah, I don't know whether it is just worth selling everything. You know, right now, just getting that bag whilst you can, because again, like I'm going to send these cards off to be graded, and this one I'm pretty sure is in very good condition. I believe is the Play Ogre. Let me just get it to better 7, and then yeah, I don't believe there's any nicks or anything. Hopefully this does come back. Small thing there, not really. Be very nice in a 10. I know that's a very nice card. I've not seen too many of them. I do see them sell here and there, but not too many. Yeah, I would have just genuinely continued just selling out. As I said, I've had a few buyouts as well. That's kind of what's really kind of made me think, hey, I shouldn't be, you know, I thought it'd be basically a good idea to put things, or take eBay, for example. And at the same time, if I want to grade these cards, if in 3 months everything's kind of on its way back to normal, then you know, I guess grading these cards isn't going to do too well. But at the same time, again, I have these cards in hand anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. It's more like, is the best thing to do now is just quick kind of grade and sell and flip and immediate flip. I heard a couple of people just talking about grading at higher prices just to get things back earlier. But again, when are we going to see that consolidation period? It doesn't seem like it's quite right now. Some things have slowed down, but again, it all happened so quickly. Except the top, it all happened so ridiculously quickly. Like it's hard to kind of keep a what's the word, track of everything that happened and when it happened. I've been saying for some time, it's probably been about 3 to 6 months where I've just had more interest and more purchases from Chinese buyers, whether they're based in the UK, where I obviously mainly operate, or whether they're based internationally. And that I obviously noticed some time back. I don't even know why I have this card, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I noticed that trend over the last few months, but it didn't cause quite the price increases that have been seen over the last couple of months, if not the last 6 months. So I think it's that particularly what's kind of really giving me the kind of the ick. But I mean, a lot of people look at that at the same time and just say, hey, I'm just gonna sell everything I've got. and I'm kind of in between. I've sold a few things, as I said, but I'm also holding on to a few things at the same time. Grading, I guess my point is I'm gonna grade these cards, hopefully get them back in a couple of months, maybe 3, and then see where we're at then. Things are still trending upwards. I probably will sell them, because, you know, how long is it going to go on after that? If things are kind of consolidating and settling down and coming back, I might end up just keeping a hold of them. Depends on the card, depends on the grade. Obviously a lot of variables there to consider, but for example, there are a few cards I have here that, for example, will do reasonably well when they're graded, so probably no reason why, if I can't just flip them and make a good amount on them immediately, that I wouldn't do that, given where they are. I also don't see it right now, but I do have a lily full art somewhere. I think it's here, so just a second, obviously. Not as I said, not as prepared as I'd like to be. There are a few cards actually. Definitely should trade. You see how well prepared I am, right? Yeah, give me some slack. I've been really busy. Here is. I randomly picked this up again. I've been picking up a lot of these gold cards. One thing I have noticed is these. See, we've seen everything that's happened with the Tag Team GX All Stars. The box, for example, has gone almost 400 quid, if not more, at this point. These gold cards, which I have quite a few of, I haven't really seen too much happen with those. I did have one listed, more than one. I had a few. I had the 4 or 5 that I was actually up for sale. They weren't listed on eBay, but I'd advertise them on Instagram. But I stopped doing that just because I thought it might be worth waiting to see what happens with those. Although we've not seen as much with those as we've seen with the, like for example, the Darkrai and Umbreon. And funny thing about that card is, so I actually submitted that card with my Ludkins submission probably at least a year ago now. And obviously, if anyone knows anything about that situation, Ludkins basically didn't pay PSA, and they had a big thing. They went to court, and effectively PSA had to kind of get the rights for those cards in those grades. I actually picked this up off Old School Pokemon. Looks like it'd be a 9. The reverse holo is pretty neat there. I might still grade that even if it's looking like a 9, just because it's a golden card. And yeah, basically what happened with Ludkins is they had to secede the kind of ownership of those graded cards to PSA, given that obviously they got taken to court, and then now PSA are slowly handing those cards back to their owners. And as I said, one of mine includes that Darkrai and Umbreon GX, and it was very, very mint. Genuinely think it's kind of pristine / black label condition. But the main thing is I just don't have hold of it. So I've got a $1,500 card in a definite PSA 10. I actually graded it previously with a different company who's graded it with PCA, and okay, sure, they're not one of the top 3, but they are actually harsh graders, and it was mint as all hell. So it should be getting a 10. That's obviously, of course, if it has actually been graded. But yeah, I'm hoping that's like a $1,500 card that I'm expecting to get back anytime soon. But as I said, struggle, right? I think a lot of people are probably in that predicament with myself, in that they are waiting for that. But at the same time, it's actually not the worst thing in the world, because realistically, I mean, my plan was to keep the card. I believe when I submitted it for grading, it was like a $100 card and probably worth about $300 or $250 in a PSA 10. That Latios GX, and I probably, like, my idea was to keep it, but what normally happens is I keep something for about a year, and then I'm like, oh, I want to get something else, and then I probably would have sold it. Whether I would have sold it before or after what we've seen in the last couple of months is just conjecture at this point, but I do think that I probably would have sold it earlier. Probably would have sold it for like $400 or $500 when it hit that point, because I was keeping an eye on it, given that I had the card waiting for me. So probably not the worst thing that this happened, given that, you know, well, the whole Ludkins thing, given that the card's obviously done what it has done. The obvious problem here now is that I don't have the card. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be seeing the card again. So that is kind of a summary of that situation. Got a few of these Japanese prime cards. I'm not sure whether or not these are going to be pen worthy. I believe they're probably borderline slash 9s mostly. There's a bit of a nick here. I think this is definitely going to be a 9, 8, hopefully not an 8. I know there's a couple that are a little bit better. That looks pretty good. Anything at the bottom doesn't look it actually. Oh no, 2 nicks at the top there. Mega. Nick at the there. That's probably gonna be a 9, if not an 8 too. And then the Steelix. That's a nick there. Potential for 9. Maybe a 10. Not. I think this lantern's in pretty good condition. Show you the lantern first before I show you the back. And there, that looks a little bit better. That's obviously just some smudge. Oh, my nail's dirty. That's just some dirt there. And then we're finding, penultimately, sorry, we've got a Meganium. You can see already, so I'm not going to bother with that. And then we have a Feraligatr with a nick at the top. It's an awesome card though. This Feraligatr Prime is really, really nice. There's a few more. I don't want to take too long. I'm already kind of getting into 20-minute length, and that's because, you know, I like to talk and definitely talk too much. Blazikins, they should all be mint. I also have so I have a copy of this card already in the PSA 10. I bought 4 or 5 of them just because I was like, fantastic card. Again, even these V-Star Universe trainers are doing ridiculous well. You know, trainers generally have just decided to do crazy things. But trainers and alt arts, of course. As I said, still waiting on those golds to do something. Otherwise, I've got the entire collection bar the Reshiram and Charizard for myself, and then I also have duplicates. I think I have 3 or 4 of the Greninja Zoroark as well. So I do have quite a few of those. So, you know, if they want to wake up and do something nice. And then a few more random cards. I've just got this Giratina from Lost Origins or Lost Abyss. I've got a few more Charizards. I got bought out of these in PSA 10. Yeah, they weren't listed too high as well, which is a shame, but not too bad either way. And then I've got these 3 mischievous Pikachus. And then a bunch of, let me just get through this a little bit faster. CP6 Hollows. And then a few random GX. I actually have this Lusamine, those 2 alt arts I've got, and then of course some Radiant cards. Well, quite a few Radiant cards. Ooh, these 3 are nice. Quickly show these 3 off. So here's a Glaceon V alt art. This will be nice. This looks pretty mint. I don't want to really take it out, but it looks pretty good. It's annoying about the glare, right? Looks pretty good. Same with the Leafeon, I think. The Leafeon looks pretty good too. Centering, if anything, for both of these cards is a potential issue, but I don't think they're that far off center. We've got a Charizard V-Star. I bought a few of these and none of them are actually really mint, which was annoying. But hopefully that one. And then we've got this Lusamine. I bought this mint, but I believe, if I recall, actually, like, this was spotless, and I think I ended up nicking it myself here, which is the most annoying thing. That might just be the difference between a 9 and a 10, and that might be the difference right now between a couple of $100 as well, which is a bit of a pain. So that's the Lusamine 110 Prism, I believe. Yeah, that's kind of a bit of a recap slash discussion slash me just showing off a few cards, because, you know, you've got to do something in the video, right, and not just talk. Although a lot of people do that anyway, so maybe not really that terrible of a thing to do. But yeah, you know, any points, anything that I've discussed, if you want to leave a comment and discuss further, whatever, free to kind of talk whenever I can. Gonna get back to you either on YouTube or on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Subscribe here, obviously, if you are not already. Like the video if you did enjoy it, and hopefully I'll catch you